All right, welcome to today's practice. We're going to be working on hands and neck today. And you might need an accessory, something like a scarf or a bit of fabric, tea towel, something like that. Always work with what you have. And the whole point of the practice today is going to be a little bit of myofascial release, a little bit of tapping, often called EFT, and also, we're going to be exploring the neck tension we hold in our neck and shoulders. So it'll be a very restorative practice, just seeing if we can listen to our body, listen to the messages of our body, see what kind of conversation that we can have just through our sensory experience. So you might like to start just by bringing hands onto the body. Maybe a little cheeky grin just to release any tension you're holding in the jaw or the cheeks. And then just find your next breath, and you might like to just start by sighing out, allow the shoulders to be heavy, and then just let your next breath in come before maybe another deep sigh. All right, so we're going to start with our hands. Just very simple, shake out. Notice any tension, tightness in the wrists. You can go side to side, up and down, just explore. And we'll start by bringing our loose fists, so just loose, not too tight, together, a little bit tender, just tapping on the index finger and this point on the large intestine meridian called Hegu, Hegu. Large intestine number 4. It's in the webbing between your index finger and your thumb. And it's a point for taking away pain in the upper body, in the head, neck, and shoulders. So anytime you have pain, might be headache, might be toothache, you can always find this point. Large intestine, of course, is about letting go. Metal element, yang meridian, often associated with kind of resistance and sadness and grief. So this probably won't feel pleasure, it will probably feel a little bit tender, but just notice the feeling, just allow that feeling to be there. All right, we're going to roll our inner wrist together and open out our hands, a little bit like this kind of symbolic lotus flower shape, the flower that buds even in mud, seemingly conditions that don't allow any growth. The lotus flower will always grow. And see if you can just bring your attention in between the wrists, maybe another sensitive point. You might like to just follow the next breath in and the next breath out. And then from here, we're going to turn our palms up. And now we're on our heart meridian. Ends right in the tip of our little fingernail. So just feel that sort of sense of fingers kind of knocking from one into the other, maybe all the way through to your index finger. We want to have a feeling of open-heartedness, open chest. Just notice how tall the crown of your head can grow, how long the back of your neck can be. Maybe one more breath in. One more breath out. And bring the hands together. So let's draw our inner wrist together now. This is our Nagum point, about 3 finger widths below the wrist crease. And just feel one Nagum point pulling in and the other one pressing out. And see if you can do this without any tension. Just relax your shoulders. Maybe tuck your chin in. Just bring your attention beneath the wrists or between the wrists. And from here, we're going to just roll, keeping that connection until we turn. You might feel the back of the wrist as well. Just let your hands roll one over the other. We're connecting with points on our pericardium meridian. This is our heart protector. And also our triple heater meridian on the back of the arm. This is our thing that controls the body temperature from gut to heart to head. Both meridians for the fire element. When they're in balance, we feel connected. We don't struggle to find joy. We feel open. We feel part of a community. When out of balance, we might feel scattered or we might struggle to sleep. So just notice where you start this day. All right, let's interlace the fingers and just roll through the wrists. You might like to try both directions. You might bring the palms together or you might spread them apart. So we're going to bring our hands to our head in a moment, but always good just to start. Hands tend to be always extending, maybe beyond what we need, what we maybe chasing things. All right, we'll shake out again. And we'll bring hands together, creates heat. A lot of these practices can seem kind of simple. You might go, well, I know how to do that, but it's not so much knowing how, it's this idea of remembering. Our problem is not that we don't know, it's that we don't remember to do things more often. The things that bring us balance and harmony and happiness, we put them aside. So you might just like to honor simplicity. Simple in thoughts and actions, you return to the source of being. That's from the Tao Te Ching. Some people say the teachings are nonsense. But to those that have looked inside themselves, the teachings makes perfect sense. And for those that have put the teachings into practice, the roots run deep. Words from the Tao Te Ching. All right, let's bring that finger energy to the back of our neck. Find that big bone at the base of your neck, the one that connects your head and your neck, and come underneath it. We're going to just nestle our fingers under that big bone. Can't really miss it. It's in the hollow on the side of the neck. And without pushing too much on your fingers, just tilt your chin up so that your head is just kind of rolling back over the fingers. You might like to do this a few times. try to take away any pushing or forcing energy into the fingers. Just let them sit there and just let the weight of your head roll onto them. And you might just explore, maybe take the fingers 1 millimeter in any direction. And just listening, using our breath to notice parts of our body that might be a little bit, energy might be stuck or stiff or sore, blocked. Listening to the body. All right, let's bring those fingers down. Notice how you feel. Let's go the other way now. We're going to see if we can find some extension in the back of our neck by pressing our chin in. And just see if you can really feel that gap between your ears and your shoulders. So back of the neck is long. Just let your chin come in and down. It won't feel very natural or fun, but just we're not pushing, we're not forcing, we're just exploring, finding space. Maybe one more time. Okay, let's take our hand across the body. Find your collarbone, so a big bone that goes across the top that connects in the middle at your sternum and then goes out right to the shoulder joint. We're going to come under that collarbone and just pressing. Use the tip or the pad of your fingers to find a little space between each rib. And just explore your own body. You'll know where you want to go, where the sensitive points you might want to notice. I like to hang a little longer in the places that tension might be holding. So I'm kind of not trying to avoid tightness. I'm trying to find it and just encourage my chi to flow back through that point. So you might find a point where you just go, that's the one. Just let your hands, let your fingers stay there for a moment. Just allow your body's healing capacity to be activated. Should mention that you can do this whole practice in a chair. You don't have to be on the floor like I am. You might feel a kind of sense of sensitivity or vulnerability pressing in here. That's okay. Just notice whatever emotion might be coming up. All right, when you're ready, we'll go straight to the other side. Same kind of thing, just under that collarbone. You might find one side feels different to the other. Our lungs are actually different size, so left lung is a little smaller than right lung, so maybe you notice that. Okay, from here, we might take a big shrug, hold the shoulders right up to the ears, and then Just let it go. Maybe a few more times just in your own breath. Really let it go. Notice what habit energy tension is there. Maybe last one. All right. Let's cup our chin on our hand, and we're just going to turn just as far as you feel comfortable turning, and not trying to pull or stretch or fix anything. With our opposite thumb, you might have to watch first for this to make sense. We're going to come right down to where the collarbone was, where we just were, and find that ropey muscle on the side of the neck. This is our scalenes. We're going to use our body's own natural oils just to allow the thumb to really slowly push in and up. So when you're ready, just explore this in your own body, not just work within your own limits. You might take quite a few breaths to get all the way up to the occipital bone where we were before, that one at the base of the skull. And once you get there, you might like to just flick it off and just notice how your neck feels. Take a moment. All right, we're going to go to the other side. So do this in your own time. So I'm going to cup my chin, roll it around towards the shoulder, use the flat part of my thumb, and energy is kind of pushing in and up, but just slowly, and no sudden or jerky movements. Just let your thumb slowly glide up. You're welcome to use a cream or a massage oil for this if you want, but it's not usually necessary. When you get up to that occipital bone, you might like to just flick it out and come back to the center. All right, we're going to do the same thing on each side. So take as much time as you need. And make sure each time you just kind of check in with yourself. You might nod yes, nod no. Just notice whatever has shifted. Let's try the other side again. So chin to shoulder, slowly coming up. And flicking off. All right, you might like to just let your head be heavy. Okay, we'll do something for our levator scapulae. This one, levator scapulae, is the muscle that kind of lifts our scapula up whenever we're doing a shrug or lifting our arms up. So this one is a little bit subtle. We're going to see if we can draw our nose towards our armpit. And I like to wrap one arm behind my head, right in the middle of my neck, and then just draw really slowly, just draw the nose towards the armpit. Now you won't get there, but not trying to pull down, just letting the head be heavy. Take a few breaths. And then when you're ready, unwrap the arms, slowly bring the head up. And again, just notice whatever has changed. All right, same on the other side. Wrap the arm over. Find the middle of the neck with your fingers and then just slowly guiding down. Might feel quite different on each side. Big sigh, feel that heaviness in the head. You might find it takes a few breaths to really open up. When you're ready, unwrap the hand and let's roll the shoulders. All right, a little bit for shoulders. Let's wrap one arm under the other. So one elbow under the other. Now you might just bring knuckles together or you might bring hands together. Everyone looks different in this shape. We're just aiming at spreading our shoulder blades apart. Now from here, we might lift the elbows up and drop the shoulders. Keep breathing. And just take your fingers up as high as they want to go. This is a strong sensation. Just let it be there. Keep breathing. And then we're going to wrap the arms. So remember which arm is underneath. I've got my left arm underneath. Wrap the arms around. Find the shoulder blades at the back. See if you can breathe into where your fingers are. And then we're going to open out wide and switch sides. So now my right arm is coming under my left. Maybe knuckles together, maybe palms together. Let's honor your own body. Lifting up the elbows, dropping the shoulders. Take your time, take a few breaths. Just feel that very strong sensation right in the shoulder joint. Let it be there. Maybe you can sigh out, find a little more space. Fingers have a little more elevation. And then when you're ready, wrap the arms around to the shoulder blades again. Open out. Maybe a little roll of the wrists. And then we'll let it go. All right, let's try another one, just exploring our range of motion of our shoulders. So one hand to our lumbar spine, other hand to the back of our neck, and just see if you can inch the fingers towards each other. Now, you might not get them to reach. That's okay. It's not a competition. So you might take the elbow a little higher. And if your hands do connect, you might use a little vice grip. Keep breathing. In yoga, they call this cow face for some reason. Never totally understood why. But you should feel a really strong sensation in your triceps, that muscle at the back of your arm. Just keep breathing. And whenever you need to, we'll take our arms out wide, maybe another roll. And then we'll switch. So one hand to the lumbar spine, one hand to the back of the neck, just inching the fingers. You might grab a hold of your shirt if you like. Maybe this side feels different to the other. And we'll stay here for a few breaths as well. And when you're ready, extending out wide, wrapping the arms around, and we'll shake it out. Okay, let's go back to our neck. Hopefully shoulders are feeling a little more heavy, a little more open. So I'm going to use my scarf now. And what I'm going to do is just pull both ends of the scarf down as low on my neck as I can get it. So right where our cervical spine, the one behind our neck, meets our thoracic spine, the one where our ribs are. And pull down and then just start to lift the chin up. You might like to let go. And if you like, you can just let the scarf come just a tiny little bit higher, pulling down, lifting the chin. Take your time. And you might kind of explore one more vertebrae each time. And then come right down the bottom again. All right, now we're going to do the opposite of that movement where we kind of take the scarf behind the head and just draw the chin to the chest. Not a pulling, forcing motion, just using the weight of your arms.
Charlie and Sue's data check-in. Planning and projects. Filming.
All right. This time we'll bring the scarf down. We're going to switch our hands to the other side. So one hand is going to pull down, and then the other hand is going to pull across, and we're going to turn our chin the direction we're pulling. Take your time to just slowly draw across, no destination, and then we'll let go. Take a new breath. And again, just drawing across. Let your body ease into it. You can explore different points of the vertebrae at the back of your neck. Just take your time. I like to do one side for a little while before I switch. And then we'll turn over to the other side. So swap your arms around. One arm is pulling down. The other hand is drawing across. Use your breath, breathing out to find that space.
I'm coming, love. One kick. And this one's in mine. Yeah, well, it's a wood though, don't worry.
All right. So whenever you're ready, come back to the middle. And I like to take the scarf down and a little bit of just free movement. Most important thing always is noticing the difference. All right, we're going to start with the point of our nose, just taking a really tiny small circle and start to make that circle bigger. Spiraling wider, higher. Once you feel like you've got to the most full expression of the range of motion that your Body allows. Let's change direction and start to bring the circle in. Smaller each time. And once you're back to that tiny little point, we're going to bring hands together. As always, let's just acknowledge with gratitude and humility our choice to practice on this day. And then we'll send that gratitude to each other with a bow.